Hey, welcome inside the Fox Weather ROWI Report. I'm Steve Benner, and we got Ian locked in. Ian, I'm excited about what we're going to be talking about, not only NFL, but looking below, a little golf action this week.
Boom. Bethpage Black, one of the best courses in the country, of course, hosting the Ryder Cup this weekend. This is going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's exciting. You and I got to play. We're going to talk more about that, kind of what our familiarity with Bethpage Black course, and then we'll talk about the win factor. That's going to be at the end of the pod. Stick around for that. Let's get into NFL and what we could expect for week 4. We got some undefeated teams. We got some defeated teams that are going to be impacted by the rain. But before we get into that, a special international game this weekend.
Yeah, going over to Dublin. I mean, this is going to be awesome. You got the Vikings and the Steelers. Ireland rules, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
Only been there once. My wife and I went, I think it was 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
I would live there in a heartbeat. And they're going to pack this place out.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be rowdy. Can't wait to see how this all plays out.
They've been hungry for football, and what I love, Ian, is that they love the kicking aspect of the game. Like, they lose their mind over kickoffs and field goals, and you know what? I think we send them 2 good teams that may be doing just that, because both offenses have been sputtering at times, but it looks like either way, for Croke Park, it's going to be a great afternoon there in Dublin.
I may have an early Guinness, just out of respect.
Nice.
Come Sunday morning.
Yeah, you were rocking the early Guinness last weekend, so I don't.
No, it's special. It's special.
This one's special. All right, so we take a look at, of course, the full slate of games. A lot of them a low risk of weather impact, great football, great dynamics, and overall, I mean, this is what you expect, though. Yeah, I mean, I don't think this is surprising to anybody when we talk about early in the fall season where you have great weather and temperatures.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that we've had some absence of high impact weather. This work week is chock full of it, with severe weather moving its way across the country. Off the coast, we're watching tropical potential. But come Sundays, special day, and we've been doing really well on this current weather schedule and this pattern.
Even Mother Nature says, look, I need to take a day off. We're going to be relaxing. I'm going to be watching some games. So you're looking at some of the lineups there. New Orleans goes out to Buffalo. They could actually have some wind that sets up off of Lake Erie, but not enough to increase the ROWI as of right now. How you feeling with your Pats there in Foxborough?
Not very good.
All right, quiet. Yeah. Hey, look, I shouldn't be saying anything because we're about to get into my team too, which I want to disown. I want them to be relegated. The Dolphins. Let's get into some of the games.
I feel better than the Dolphins, at least.
Everybody
Patriots did everything they possibly could to lose that game last week.
Everybody.
So hopefully we don't do that this week. Should be able to even up to 2-2.
Here's the thing. I'm going to move my fandom now to the other side of Florida. I'm going to go here, right?
Can't
do
Baker.
It.
That's not how it works.
Please, anything but Tua. Anything. Here's the thing, though. All eyes on this game. These are the undefeated teams. The matchup at Ray J. And, of course, we got to talk about the variety of factors that go into the ROWI, because it's not just one component. There's multiple layers when we analyze this.
Yeah, of course, the tush push is impervious to heat and cold and precipitation and all those things anyway. But yeah,
good call.
We'll see. The Bucks did lose Mike Evans, the hammy, but I think they're going to be getting Chris Godwin back. Ibuka has been unbelievable, so they have reinforcements coming.
Dude, Mike Evans, I saw the stat on him that he's had a hamstring pull, which is why he's out, since 2019, every single year consecutively. Yet every single year he still has over 1,000 yards receiving. It's incredible what they're able to do, but that shows you the aerial attack. Will that be impacted this weekend? We're looking, as you had said, by the way, during the week, on Fox Weather, the stream, we're active, and we're talking a whole lot about the Atlantic and potentially some influences, of course. We're looking at, by Sunday, of course, some rain that could be moving in. The reason why I bring that up is because the invest that we're talking about as of right now, this is Tuesday. Will there be some impacts to Florida or not? Some big question marks, but we do know that there is the potential for some thunderstorms.
Yep, and we know that shuts things down more than any weather for obvious safety concerns, even with sub-severe storms. If there's lightning and 8 miles?
Within 8 miles, yep.
Yeah, that's shutting down the game. So that possibility will be there. The temperature impact is up there, too. We know September games can be tough at Ray J.
Yeah.
There you go. Upper 80s, but it feels more like 1,000.
It feels like 1,000. And it's right in the heart of the afternoon again, which is when you're going to have the most electricity, the most opportunity for these storms to set up. With this, though, something we've talked about here on the pod for the last several weeks is I believe those delays, though, favor the home team because you're more comfortable in your locker room. You can get back in that rhythm. You can get back into that cadence. And by the way, the Bucs are used to this. It's something that you practice and you see during the offseason as well. You live in this. That was something important you and I had learned in our first year of this podcast with so many of the players that we had talked to. When you live in this dynamic, it's not about, hey, okay, well, this afternoon we're going to get thunderstorms. It's literally as I'm going to get groceries on a Tuesday, I'm dodging the storms as well.
It's a lifestyle, straight up. And yeah, folks down there know it, and they're adjusted to it. We'll see. Maybe that's the thing that throws the wrinkle in for the Eagles because they're marching. Yeah, I mean, they're winning in all kinds of different ways. Now they got the passing game back in the mix. AJ, I know.
AJ Brown.
Yeah.
He got discovered. They found out they had him.
They remembered they had AJ Brown.
Yeah, they had a missing person report for a few weeks, and then they decided, hey, we located him. But then they went on special teams, right? Then they have some way, but we say all of that, and who's in charge of the Bucs? Baker, 3 weeks in a row, finding a way. Look, weather impacts. What I love about this, Ian, is that the fourth quarter could be influenced by rain, and I think it's going to come down to the fourth quarter. I think it's going to get sloppy. It's going to get messy out there, and I think it's going to be a showdown you're going to want to watch. By the way, with these types of setups, because the next game comes into Miami and Florida, you want to stay tuned because we do podcasts every Tuesday and Wednesday, but bonus pods as we get closer, and these are the type of games, Ian, that we can track out the timing a little better once we get closer to the actual kickoff.
And I will say, New York football teams, New York, New Jersey, 0-6. They may get on the board this weekend. They may.
Wow. I was wondering how you were going to hit me with some Dolphin smack talk, and you led me down a road that was a little bit of hope. And the backhand came in. I got you. All right.
Yeah, Justin Fields coming back from the concussion protocol, missed the game. Yeah. He's been looking pretty good, to be honest.
He was good. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's more than can be said for anything that the Dolphins have been doing. So there's that. And
they actually look decent, though. We got to give them some love on Thursday Night Football. It took them 3 quarters to completely show that they were the Dolphins, though. I mean, 3 quarters, they were decent. Fourth quarter, they were like, hey, guys, by the way, in the huddle, we're the Dolphins here. We should probably start turning the ball over. And Tua said, say less. I'll do what I have to do. So I'm worried about when we talk about a rain game like this is setting up, Ian, that sets up into a turnover match.
Yep. And the precipitation impact is obviously the driving factor here of the ROWI being in the medium category. Yeah, this could most certainly, if it's just rain, which hopefully it is, we had talked about, Jared, Dr. ROWI, what is it, the first 10 rows are exposed? The field and
first like about 10 to 15
okay.
rows of the fans.
If you have really good seats or you're playing in the game, you might get wet. Otherwise, it's just going to be an impact on the game and hopefully not a stoppage like we talked about up in Tampa Bay.
And Hard Rock is notorious for getting muddy at times. So, and you know how Dr. ROWI knows that because he's been in those seats.
Oh, yeah.
Bro's been going to the UM games over there. We're going to have that. Of course, he's a UM alum. So he's been down to Hard Rock a bunch of times. Here's something we should have
He's offended by that. It's just the U.
Just the U.
It's like the Ohio State.
See, I grew up with FSU, so I like to be like, UM. I try as much as I can. We got a big matchup, by the way. I'm eyeing Dr. ROWI. We got FSU, UM, whatever, coming in a few weeks. But here's a big thing we should index on, Ian, is that it's not just when we talk about the ROWI, the entire game. It highlights the biggest hour of concern. This is right off kickoff on Monday night because what we do know about Florida storms, it's through the afternoon, early evening is when they're most dynamic.
This is what ESPN chose to trot out to the national audience come Monday night, huh?
Well, you see the other Monday night game, just as disrespectful. The Bengals, Broncos. Yeah. Everybody's saying, hey, you should give that away. Let's get into what everybody's going to want to watch. A beautiful Ryder Cup action. I know you were really excited.
Yeah.
You dove into this, so I want to let you just run with this here.
I badly wanted to. We'll discuss it another time. The credential situation didn't happen.
Okay. Shame.
The Ryder Cup is going to be. I don't know how this is going to go. I'm obviously rooting for the USA team. They're the favorites. Europe has some dogs. They got a squad out there.
Cantley?
I wish Captain Keegan would have suited up for this.
Same.
Respect the decision.
Like
I'm just saying that it's going to be a battle.
Who are you worried about? Morikawa? Cantley? Dude, all I'm saying is you got Scotty Scheffler tell everybody to sit, stay in the clubhouse, let him play every single round. I don't care if it's
If it worked like that, it would be an automatic dub.
Dub,
That's
yeah.
not how it goes.
Yeah, all right.
We got mixed formats for Friday and Saturday.
True.
We should talk about the weather impact coming in here because there is a soggy stretch. The Northeast, Thursday into early Friday. Course is going to get soaked.
Yo, this is already a track, the links that you don't want to add more yardage, right? That's what ends up happening with the rain, and it gets waterlogged. You don't get as much roll on the ball, and this is already a treacherous course because of the yardage. And we're going to show you, Ian and I have both been there. Ian's been there a couple more times, of course, with how close you are, how tight the fairways are. Yeah. I mean, this track, it's like it punishes you.
If you miss the fairway, forget it. You're either in 4-inch rough.
I've tried to forget.
Or you're in the fescue. They let that come up, and now they have the stanchions, and it's a spectacle. We were lucky enough to play it as they were building out for. Oh yeah,
there it is.
the sign right there. So
let's see if we can we bring this full screen, Dr. ROWI? Is something? No, okay, all right.
If you see all the fescue, that's one tee. Yep. That's where all the stanchions and everything are. 18 would be just off the left side of this picture.
Okay.
So that's going to be a spot to watch all of this. But man, Keegan Bradley, St. John's guy, he told the awesome stories how they would, quote unquote, sneak on. They knew what was going on. They were letting the college guys play, bunch of stud college golfers.
Yeah.
He said he's played this course. That's you. That's you right there, my buddy Trevor.
Yeah.
Trevor, a great guy. We took a little money off of him, you and I. Steve played great at Bethpage, much better than I did. Keegan's saying he's probably played the course 100 times, and he's never seen it look as good as it looks right now.
Oh,
so they have this thing dialed.
Oh, yeah, they dial. This is special for this type of event for the Ryder Cup. To your point, the fescue, look at the amount of bunkers, though. That was the other thing. So everybody at home, if you haven't had a chance, you're just listening to this audio, put a tab, save this. When you get a chance, get over to YouTube. I want you to look at some of the pictures that Ian and I have sent in so you can see this. This is me walking with his buddy. Notice how narrow the fairway is. Look at all the threatening elements off to the side. But the fairway in itself, Ian, you can't find a flat part of it.
No.
That was the problem, was even the fairway was difficult at Bethpage Black.
Yeah, and I think I was to the right of that bunker complex on the right.
You want me to go back? Yeah, all right, you show it to us
That's technically a Bethpage red. I'm trying to finish up on the black course from the red course. So be it. Sometimes it's easier if you're not in those big traps.
100%,
but that was the par 3 you had switched over.
Yeah.
There are so many amazing. I mean, look at that bunker complex. This is the most penalizing course.
It's insane.
It got to be in golf.
Yeah, I feel like you even get penalized if you're on the green. That's the other thing I learned about this was how fast those greens were. And again, there's not a flat part of this. It gives you such a respect for the pros when they go out there. We'll show you another vantage point of this. This is going to lead us into our conversation about the wind, because when you look at it by the numbers, it doesn't look that impressive, 5 to 10 miles per hour.
Yeah.
But we know that gusts can be north of that, and we know that off of Long Island, that there's some times where the wind can pick up at times. And when you see a course that's laid out like this, you have to respect how their game changes dynamic. Like, I know for me, and you've watched me play, I sky the ball. Like, it's on purpose. I put it on my left heel, and I power through. And I love having this high arcing shot. I would be trembling if I saw a windy matchup, because that's against the way I play.
Right.
Like, you got to put it back in your stance, and you got to drive the ball low in order to cut through the wind.
Right, and it's a course that demands shot making and a bunch of different kinds of shots. None that I have in the bag.
Right.
We're still trying to play in the Ryder Cup. But yes, you're looking at this, and any wind is going to be problematic. To your point, I do think Friday would be the day as that front, the storm that moves through late Thursday, is probably still having some influence. You see, it's generally out of the southwest. We'll see how it all plays out, but overall, which is great because it'll be the golf that decides
it. Yeah,
it's a pretty good looking forecast. Great forecast over the weekend.
One thing I would say too is that not all wind's the same, right? This is predominantly a crosswind, it looks like, for most of the course, and so that changes your landing zone, right? If it's a wind you're going right into or behind, you just change club length,
right,
or whatever club you're using. But with a crosswind, now you have to start talking about, okay, is this landing zone what I want? And what I talked about, too, with a ball flight, Bethpage, as you had said, it's shot making. You want a high arcing shot where you can land it softly because the green is going to make it roll or wherever it's going. And so that's the concern, is that if you have to change the ball flight, which these guys have, we're trying to give it to everybody at home, what you're not seeing when they're having that conversation or in their practice rounds and most PGA events is how great these guys are at changing all those little factors, where you and I are like, look, I'm just trying to find some short rough, right? I'm just trying to find some short grass.
Even cooler, too, is when you think about the weather impacts.
Yeah.
The mixed format of the first couple of days.
True.
And then come Sunday, it's match play.
Oh, yeah.
So you're watching your opponent, potentially shoot first.
Yeah.
And then you're making strategic decisions, not just based on what that shot looked like, but the overall weather conditions. Making smart choices, making not so smart choices, crowds into it.
Yeah.
It's going to be a spectacle.
And the wind does change throughout it. Southwest in the first round, north out of the second round. And then, as you had said, for match play, you're going at it by yourself, back out of the southwest. The entire time, looking sustained winds about 5 to 10 miles an hour. We talk, gusts can be north of that. But fascinating, and I'm loving that we got a chance to get into a little bit of golf.
Yeah.
You and I got to play. We get to play often. And, no better course for us. I feel like it's so
if you
nice.
find 12 Hyundai in your cup holder in your car, we could go.
All right. Say less. We'll talk to the big dog. I know Dr. ROWI's got it. If he's going to all these freaking football games, he's got the money.
Yeah, right.
All right, so we'll get him to send us to the Ryder. By the way, everybody that's been watching, thank you so much. We do a podcast every Tuesday and Wednesday. Then we do bonus pods. But we want to hear from you, right? We heard from Ian this morning. He got on our chat. He said, look, I love NFL. But get us some Ryder Cups. So guess what we did? We did some Ryder Cup. So let us know on social media at Ian Oliver WX or at Weatherbender. You can always chirp us. You can always talk to us, and we will get those conversations weaved into the pod. Until the next one, let us sign off now, and you have a good day. We'll see you next time.
Go USA.
America.